Across the country, there's one age group that has consistently exercised their right to vote the least: young America. However, there may be a way to make it easier for college students to vote: establishing polling stations on college campuses. In Connecticut, a state with dozens of accredited universities, the colleges do not offer polling locations.
One of the things that I focused on as a registrar over the years, we have 2 universities in town, and when you talk about that gap between the 40,000 registered and the 60,000 who live here, most of the adults who are not registered are living on one of the 2 campuses. So I've always seen that as like the sort of the missing piece of our voter population. I've always thought, how do we try and reach out to them?
While polling stations might be helpful for those on campus who want to vote, not everyone does. Wagner said that college students are unpredictable regarding turnout.
Do we make it normal and expected for students to participate, right? Like, if we assume you're not going to vote and all of the campaigns that are participating in the town assume they're not going to vote, no one's going to try and engage them. No one's going to try mailing them anything. No one's going to try to register them to vote. And so the low participation becomes like a self-perpetuating cycle.
As for their work with the universities, the registrars have a voting registration table at new student orientation to answer questions and implement outreach. The outcome, however, isn't great, and Wagner said it can be challenging to make students aware. Despite this, there's a solid portion of students that are interested in voting.
As a college student, it can be really tough to get your vote in. Well, first time I was legal was my freshman year, and I had to go home to Cheshire, which is like an hour away, to vote for my representatives that I wanted in office. And it was hard. You could have gotten an absentee ballot at UConn, but the lack of polling stations near the university made it difficult, and I did not want to re-register in stores because I wanted to vote for the candidates in my hometown. I think that they would definitely help. I think it could dramatically increase turnout. Students can be so busy, so having something so close to you, that'll make it really accessible. And just having that opportunity, not needing to figure out what to do with an absentee ballot or have to go home for our out-of-state kids that live hours away. So that would definitely be a great way to make voting more accessible for college students.
So it could be beneficial if we get students to register to vote early, and that's a lot of what we're working on in external affairs. But if there's not that initiative set up, and if there's going to be 1,000 students showing up and not registered to vote, it may not do very much.
From the larger community, there will be a concern, I don't know how to navigate the university, I don't want to have to find my way around. Those are concerns that you can't just brush off, right? You have to say, well, when we go to the university and ask for a place, we have to say, can you guarantee us a certain number of parking spots that we won't let anyone else park in, so that this is going to work for the community.
As for the future of these efforts, there hasn't been much movement. In 2018, Wagner supported a bill which would require a separate voting district for state election years to be located on Connecticut's larger college campuses and universities. Wagner said he liked the bill because it would encourage students to engage in the town's civic life. He said he hopes the bill comes back, but as for the future of this issue, legislation hasn't made any further progress.